Oz up 0.1, which is somewhat significant because he's been behind by, little percentage points all along. But now it shows him up 0.1. So where does that race stand in your view right now?
Well, it stands as a total toss-up. And we don't know who is going to be coming out to vote in what numbers and who has been coming out to vote in what numbers. We know this is an extraordinarily high turnout election. We have lots of evidence in polling and also in the participation in early and absentee voting that both parties are highly energized. Everybody's turning out to vote. And these races are going to tip on a relatively small number of persuadable voters. And in Pennsylvania, like in Georgia, a lot of those are going to be ticket splitters, right? How many people who in Pennsylvania, the Republican gubernatorial candidate, Doug Mastriano, is sucking wind. He is the bottom fell out for him a while ago.
Yeah.
So Josh Shapiro is riding high in Pennsylvania and seems like he is bound to keep the governor's mansion there blue. How many
he's
of
up
those
10.7. FYI.
Yeah, and
he's up 10%.
How many of those folks are going to switch over and vote for Oz? How many of those folks are going to stay on the Democratic column and vote for Fetterman? I guess here's how I would think about Pennsylvania, and I would say the same about Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada, which is there's going to be a breeze. We don't know which direction the breeze is going to go. And most of the races, and this is true in the House too, are going to flop in the same direction. The polls will be wrong. We don't know by how much, and we don't know in which direction. And so we'll just be waiting for those first votes to start coming in Virginia and elsewhere to see what the climate is really like. So for Pennsylvania, it's a toss-up. It's a pure D toss-up.
Meanwhile, Fetterman continues to give interviews and go out on the campaign trail, and he makes no more sense than he made at that debate. In fact, I think you could make the case that he's getting less sensible. Like I don't even understand half of his sound bites, and I'm trying to give the guy a fair shot. I understand he's been through something traumatic. I'll give you as one example. He gave an interview on CNN on Tuesday of last week. This one had escaped my notice, but I bring it to you here. Listen.
Well, let's talk about inflation because that's a big concern for voters. What do you think the biggest cause of inflation is? And should the Biden administration be doing more?
No, I just do. I think that simply is also, we have this talk about the trillions in massive tax cuts to the corporate tax structure as well. True. Trillions of dollars that have added to the deficit. And now they still want to support those as well. True. I think in terms of being very serious about addressing inflation is making sure that those rates are brought back into a line with what they should have been, where they're able to fight the deficit.
Is it over? Did it stop? I can't. It's right. Stirewalt, for the listening audience, has got a face like he just had to eat a full lemon. It's not good. It's not good. It's upsetting.
I have found an interesting new piece of notoriety because I was the analyst on screen after the Fetterman-Oz debate. We hosted it at News Nation, and I said it was hard to watch. And of course, some Republican clipped that into the first part of an ad that they put $1 bajillion behind around Pennsylvania. So I've gotten to hear from all my Yinzer friends. I see you on TV 10 times a day. And it's hard to watch, right? John Fetterman is hard to watch, and your heart goes out to the guy. You really feel for this person, and you understand how for his personal narrative of redemption, and I'm going to fight my way back from this debilitating stroke, and I'm going to do all this stuff. But if you have the doubts that were raised in that debate, you look at that and you say, man, if Oz is just basically good enough, right? And you notice Oz had Susan Collins in and some other, and I say this without trying to be pejorative, squishy, moderate Republican to come in and campaign with him to tell suburbanites in the Philly suburbs and in suburban Pittsburgh, hey, I'll be okay. I'll be cool. You can cross over. You can vote for Shapiro and come vote for me. Because with Fetterman doing this kind of sounding that way, it instills no confidence.
All right, here's my question for you, Eliana. When I look at the pretty solid support for Fetterman in the polls, even after the debate, it's not like he cratered. He did not collapse. I wonder whether this is Republicans' January 6th. Like, they're like, look, this is an issue. For the love of God, would you listen to this guy? But the Democratic faithful in Pennsylvania are like, fine. He'll get over it. He looks like us. He kind of acts like us. And I can't relate to Dr. Oz at all. I don't even understand what planet he's on with the crudité and the Wegners and the drinking the wine at the tailgate. Like, I don't get it, and I don't care. I wonder whether it's that, like, you can get yourself as upset as you want about those weird sound bites. I'm still voting for him.
Well, a couple things, Megyn. We were joking around in the Free Beacon offices here, and somebody said, Biden must have gone out to suburban Philly. Biden and former President Barack Obama were out there this weekend because Biden makes Fetterman look good by comparison. He's not exactly speaking in complete sentences. But
so articulate.
I think the question you ask is a good one. It's true. Like, it's amazing that Fetterman has not cratered in the polls, but it does speak to the hyper polarized environment that we live in where, 40-some% of voters are voting Democrat no matter who's on the ticket, literally in the case of Fetterman this time. And the same is true of on the Republican side. There are very few persuadable voters. And to the question you raised, people were making this argument about Fetterman after that disastrous debate performance. They were saying on Twitter, like, don't look at what you're seeing in this debate. He's a reliable Democratic vote, and he has a hand that he is able to raise or to push the button to cast a Democratic vote. And that is all that matters. That was the narrative coming from top Democrats in the wake of that debate.
The New York Times podcast, The Daily, they had an interesting piece on the dynamic around Fetterman and how he's like exactly what Dems were looking for. Somebody who could get the white working class vote in Pennsylvania that had previously voted Democrat but went for Trump. And they needed somebody who acted like them and sounded like them and, looked like them and dressed like them. And that's Fetterman. But he's pretty far left. Like, he's not like a moderate Democrat. But you got to think of those guys. Those guys sitting there. And they're looking at Dr. Oz and they're like, I like Dr. Oz, don't get me wrong, but I can see why he's not resonating with them. I'll give you an example on the other side. Here he is with his latest sort of elitist gaffe. This is really more like he's not from Pennsylvania and they know it. Made a mistake on the Steelers. I'll play the soundbite and then I'll tell you what the mistake was. It's SOT 8.
Tomorrow morning, when you awaken, I want you to contact 10 people. Do it at church. Do it before the Steelers game. Just find the time. And here's the question you're going to ask them. Are you happy with the way America's going?
Chris knows what the mistake was. This was on Saturday. He said this. What was his mistake?
Steelers have a bye week. They lost to the Eagles, and they've got a bye week. They don't play again until next week. Wow. He did that in Latrobe. He did that in Latrobe,
and
PA.
Fetterman tweeted it out immediately, and he's like, the Steelers have a bye week, bro.
Can't do it, man. Can't do it.
That's the thing. When the contest is over, look, if these two were having a campaign, for Upper West Side voters, well, no, that doesn't work. But anyway, my point.
Well, here's the counterpoint. Megyn. I think Fetterman would have been really helped. He does look like a blue collar voter. He has that kind of attitude, but he hasn't actually been able to articulate a coherent message because of his issues on the issues like inflation and like crime that are resonant in this race. And if you listen to Oz, though Oz has like a very John Kerry-esque wooden out of touch quality and bearing to him, he has tried to portray Fetterman as the radical, and Oz actually can deliver a message, like he's able to talk. And so I think Fetterman really has been hurt. His campaign has been hurt by his inability to talk coherently about the issues that those blue collar voters he's trying to reach care about.
Let me offer one contrapoint to this, which is the Democrats had a really good nominee available to them, Connor Lamb. Connor Lamb, the congressman from Western Pennsylvania, would be beating Dr. Oz soundly if the Democrats had not given in to their emotionality and nominated Fetterman, who made them feel good, right? He had an attractive narrative. It was different. He's not a guy in a Brooks Brothers suit. He's something different and something special. And by the way, very progressive. And what the argument Fetterman made in the Democratic primary was, we can't send this squishy moderate to Washington. We need a bold progressive. And then after he had his stroke, the argument for him going was the same, right? We have to have John Fetterman because somebody if the Democratic Executive Committee replaces him with Connor Lamb, button-down Connor Lamb, it's no good for the working families of Pennsylvania. We've got to stay in this fight. And the truth is, by the time he got to that debate stage and subsequently, he's saying the same kinds of stuff that Connor Lamb would say, talking about getting the deficit under control, talking about his newfound love of fracking, talking about law enforcement and the need to get crime under control. So the tragedy of this, and what's really evil, and I use the word advisedly here, are the consultants who continued to take millions of dollars to keep John Fetterman in this race, given from hardworking Americans, when what they should have told him months ago was, we can't be part of this. I understand why you can't, but the Democrats have a good candidate we can put on the ballot and win this race. And this is all hubris and greed, and it's very sad.
Carmen in Cedar Rapids, Iowa says, I have struggled to find a product that does not irritate my skin. This is the only one that I have been able to use without problems. Not only do I love it, but my skin feels like velvet. I love, love, love it. From now through Thanksgiving, you can treat yourself to JennyCell's most popular package, all their best stuff, for 70% off at JennyCell.com/MK. JennyCell.com right now. It's the only skincare product you will ever need. Right now, every one of their most popular packages, they include JennyCell's hyaluronic acid correcting serum free. You get it free in any one of those most popular packages with the 70% off, right? So it's a good deal. JennyCell products delight men and women with inspiring results by correcting your daily skin problems like wrinkles, dark spots, dry skin, sagging jawline, facial redness, even those annoying bags and puffiness. And with JennyCell's immediate effects product, JennyCell guarantees results in as little as 12 hours or your money back. Order at JennyCell.com/MK60. Your most popular package includes a holiday gift set plus free holiday express shipping, I should say. So you get the free shipping, you get the gift set, you get the hyaluronic acid for free, and you get 70% off. Why wouldn't you call right now? Or just go to the website, GENUCEL.com/MK60, JennyCell.com/MK60. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.